Hello there. So today was supposed to be August favorites video, but it turns out I didn't have any favorites in August. I hated everything in August. No, it was alright. I just continued enjoying the same stuff that I enjoyed before. I didn't discover anything new, so fuck favorites. Instead, I'm coming to you with, well, still technically favorites, but these are going to be my favorite markers at the moment. And they happen to be Copic markers. But what I'm going to share with you today is it's mostly focused on the colors. So if you're looking for markers to buy, you don't have to go specifically for those Copics. You can, if you like the color suggestions, you can just go for the same colors in another brand. It's still going to work just fine. Okay, so before we continue, let me make a couple of disclaimers because it's the internet, the land of the disclaimers. First off, if you're looking to choose your first Copic markers, I think this is a good place. I'll have some good advice for you, but it's only going to be relevant to you if your style of illustration and drawing is similar to mine. That means if you're someone who likes to blend colors a lot and to achieve a more realistic look, this is not the right video to watch. I don't think that my recommendations will be great for a person like that. So, thanks for stopping by. For everyone else who likes something more illustrative, more graphic, I don't really know what this is, but an illustration that has some accent colors, but it's not trying to be realistic or super blended, you know, this is kind of where I'm going with this video, that sort of style. And you'll see in a moment when I'll show you some examples. Another thing you need to know, I guess, going into this video, is that I really like limited color combinations. I use limited combinations even when I draw digitally and can use all the colors there are. I just think that simplifying your colors gives just a different expression. It makes the illustration much more sophisticated and put together, at least in my opinion. So if you want to draw something, I don't think that you need every single color that this thing contains. You can take the realistic colors of the thing and sort of translate it into your palette. Okay, enough. Just enough. Let's start. So, let's go back a little bit. Before I bought my first Copic markers, about a year ago, I bought these 5 brush pens by Faber Castell. Faber? You know, that brand. I basically just went to the store and thought I'll get something marker-ish and that's not too expensive, so I can try out whether or not I like this marker stuff at all. So I decided to go for these pens. I just picked 5 of them. I decided I'm gonna get some limited combination that contains colors I like and use a lot. This combination didn't just come out of nowhere. I based it on colors that I know I use very frequently. And I've been very happy with this combination since. It's light skin, scarlet red, in that green blue, yeah, some kind of blue, ice blue, and dark chrome yellow. So that's what these colors are called for this particular brand. But you can sort of see what the colors are, and yeah, you don't need to go for the same brand. My point here is that these were my way to try and see if I liked working in markers and no, and turns out I did. So that's what my favorite Copic markers will be based off of. because when I later went and bought my first Copic markers, I feel like I'm saying Copic markers a lot. So yeah, when I went and bought them, I made sure that I have these colors in my collection, or something similar, something that responds to this color palette, because I already know I'm really loving it. Yeah, okay, let's put this away. And let's jump into the actual Copics. So, here we are, the same colors again, or responding colors. B39, Prussian blue, B00, frost blue, E00, cotton pearl, YR15, pumpkin yellow, and R14, light rouge. So, a little bit about each color and what can you actually do with them. Let's start with the dark blue. B39, Prussian blue. This is just such a great color. I like how versatile it is. Every time I need a dark color, I will use this one to replace black, dark brown, dark green, dark purple, everything on the darker bluish colder side. And you will notice in my illustrations that I rarely ever use black and white, because I think that if you're working with colors, using black and white is going to make your illustration boring and flat. I always prefer replacing the black with something dark bluish and the white with something light yellowish or beige-ish. I would use this color for things like tree trunks and foliage that's a bit darker, you know, leaves. For dark hair, I always use it for my hair when I'm drawing myself. Things like jeans and black leggings, any type of darker clothing. It can be used for roofs, I guess, of houses, for buildings, just about anything that's dark. And it gives you some nice dimension that black wouldn't give you. Next up is the frost blue. This is pretty much the same, just on the lighter side. You can use it to replace white. You can use it in shadows, especially cooler shadows. You can use it for gray hair, if you draw an old person, for example. You can use it for sky. You can use it for leaves. I know that leaves are green, but in illustration, everything is possible. So, why not? I would also use it for things like water, vapor, possibly white candles, why not? Yeah, basically anything lighter or for shadows. Next, let's talk about the light rouge. It's a very nice red color, kind of a tomatoey red, I don't know, not entirely sure. So yeah, I would use that for anything that's red, obviously, or pink, or any type of warm tone. You can use it for lips, you can use it for hair, you can use it for food, like vegetables and such, for flowers, for autumn leaves. Then we go into the orange. I like that it's not a yellow, because that can also be a little bit flat. You can use this one for anything that's orange, obviously, anything that's yellow. I also use it for sunshine details on illustrations, or to cover the lighter side, to show a very strong sunlight. And the last of the 5, cotton pearl. This is great for light skin tones, although a lot of the times I would actually leave the skin, the color of the paper. I also use this as a replacement for white on paper, for example, or clothes. It's a nice choice for shadows on lighter things, and to just fill anything that's supposed to be white but you don't want to use the white of the paper. I haven't really tried, I don't think, blending all of those. That might give you nice combinations as well. I'm just not that much of a blending type of person. Sometimes I do, but I don't remember something super exciting blending wise. But if you are to blend, I think this cotton pearl will be good for blending because it's so light. And maybe you are thinking now, but what about the pinks and what about the purples and most of all, what about the greens? If you like drawing nature a lot, you do need a lot of greens, and that's totally true. For my ultimate collection, so to say, I'm trying to have colors that can easily replace all those other colors. So for me these are fine, although in my larger 20 marker collections I do have purples and greens, of course, and tons of blue-greens. Like, what's up with that? Like, I have 3-4 blue-greens. I went a bit crazy with that. I don't use them so much, I really shouldn't have, but I just really love those colors. Anyway, what I would suggest is that when you go to buy your first colors, no matter whether it's Copic or other brand, whether it's even markers or watercolor, if you're selecting your own collection, meaning that you're not buying pre-packaged markers, but you're picking them one by one yourself, what I would do and what I did, I would go and analyze all my drawings and see what are the colors that I use most of the time, and can I use those favorite colors to replace other colors that I use less often. And of course, they will never be perfect replacements. I use blue as a green sometimes, and of course they're not the same, they don't give the same feeling, but it works for me. So you need to go and see what combination will be best for you, for your needs, for your style. But I think that you can definitely start with 5 to 10 colors, and you can always go and buy more in the future, obviously. But what this smaller collection will do is going to challenge you to try more interesting combinations. It will challenge you to make choices that you wouldn't normally make, like using blue for green. That's just going to give your illustration a very different and interesting feel, and the people looking at it won't necessarily think that, oh, she was too cheap to buy green, so what is this blue tree doing? No, they will just think that's your choice, that's your artistic expression. So don't be scared to get a little bit experimental with your first colors. I definitely recommend that you limit yourself, just because limitations breed creativity. And that's all I wanted to tell you for today. And now I want to know, what were your first colors, or what colors do you plan to go for, or what colors do you predominantly use in your illustration, or what is your favorite color? Just let's talk colors. And that's all for today. I hope this was useful. I hope it gave you some good ideas. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next week. Until then, have fun!